experienced the studio hangover before? It's that specific kind of exhaustion that hits you after spending 8, maybe 10 hours completely alone with your thoughts and your canvas. You haven't spoken a single word out loud all day. The silence isn't just quiet, it's heavy. It has weight. We have this tendency to romanticize the solitary genius, the painter that gets locked up in the tower, suffering for their art, creating masterpieces in a vacuum. We see it in movies, we read about it in biographies, and we start to believe that isolation is an essential for greatness.
Let's be real for a second. That narrative is just a myth. It is actively dangerous for your creativity and for your mental health. When you create in total isolation, you lose the perspective. You basically lose the ability to tell the difference between a bad idea and a brilliant mistake. If you feel like shouting into the void and you feel like nobody is understanding you, you're not broken, you're just isolated. And today we're going to fix that. Welcome back to Becoming Abstract. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and this is Becoming Abstract. If you're new here, welcome. We are currently in the middle of a special deep dive series where we take the sources of strength wheel, which is basically an incredible evidence-based framework for mental health and resilience. We map it directly to the unique struggles we face as artists and just as everyday people in general. If you missed the first few episodes, here's a quick recap. In episode 1, we tackled burnout. In episode 2, we looked at mental health and the trap of perfectionism. In the last video, episode 3, we explored spirituality to find our authentic voice. Today is episode 4, and we are diving straight into the positive friend slice. We are confronting the struggle of isolation and the nagging fear that no one gets my art. Whether you have 30 subscribers or 30,000 subscribers, art can definitely be a lonely business. But the SOS framework teaches us that connection is a necessity for survival. So grab your sketchbook and let's talk about building your tribe.
Let's start by deconstructing why we isolate ourselves in the first place. As abstract artists, we do a tremendous amount of internal processing. We are struggling color theory, composition, emotion, and technique, all inside our heads. Because the work is internal, we trick ourselves into thinking the life of the artist must be solitary. But here's the problem with that thinking. When you isolate, you end up in an echo chamber. When I'm alone in my studio for too long, I'm talking about like days without meaningful creative contact, my inner critic gets a megaphone. There is no one there to say, hey, that texture is actually really interesting, or stop, you're overworking it. There's just me and my doubts. Isolation distorts your perspective. You start to believe that your struggles are unique to you. You think that you're the only one who can't get the composition right, or the only one failing to grow on social media.
So this is like where the positive friends slice comes in. So in this model, these friends act like a buffer, like against the stress. For an artist, they're like an anchor that keeps you from drifting away into a sea of like self-doubt. We need to shatter that glass of the echo chamber and let some fresh air in.
So what does a positive friend actually look like in the context of an art career? It is crucial to make a distinction here. We aren't just talking about fans. We aren't talking about the number of likes on a post or people who leave a generic emoji in your comments. Those are metrics, not connect. A positive friend in your creative circle is someone who supports your growth and provides emotional safety. This could be a fellow artist who understands the technical struggle of mixing mud when you meant to mix violet instead. But, and this is important, it can also be a non-artist friend who simply respects your time and validates your passion.
So I have friends that don't understand like abstract expressionism. They just think it's like scribbles, but they understand me. And they know that abstract expressionism is me because it makes the most sense to me. And they'll ask me like, oh, how did that painting make you feel? Instead of like, oh my God, what's it supposed to be? You know? That distinction is the core of the slice. Like a few questions you should ask yourself is like, do you have any people in your life that you could, or like they could like allow you to be imperfect? Or like, can you show them like a bad painting without like feeling judgment from it? If the answer is no, then your isolation may be protecting you from your criticism. However, it is also starving you from growth. We need people that lifts us up, not just people that can just occupy this space for us. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Okay, Ashley, that sounds great, but I'm an introvert, or I live in a small town, or I don't know that many artists. It's okay, I get it. Building that slice of the wheel takes time and effort, especially when you're starting out, for sure. But you have to be intentional about it. You just can't wait for a community to come knocking at your door. If you post about a struggle saying like, I hated everything I paint today, you'll be amazed by how many people say, me too. Suddenly, you're not alone anymore. You started a conversation. And also, look for the overlap of the mentor's slice of the wheel. It doesn't have to be a famous artist that you spend a whole lot of money on. It could just simply be a peer that is like 2 steps ahead of you. By building these bridges, you build a safety net for your creativity. You create a space where it feels safe to fail, and therefore, safe to succeed.
Here is a crucial way to start. If you want that positive friends connection, you usually have to give it to receive it. Start by engaging with other artists who are in a similar stage as you. Don't just comment nice. Ask a question. Be curious. Vulnerability is a magnet for connection. If you activate this positive friend slice, your art actually changes, and I truly believe that. When you know you have a community behind you, even if it's just a small one, you take bigger risk. You aren't afraid to try a new medium or a bold color palette because you know that if it flops, you have someone to laugh about it with. Community transforms the tortured artist into the resilient artist. It turns the monologue in your head into a dialogue. And for us, specifically on this channel, as we explore becoming abstract, we need that feedback. Abstract art is so subjective. Having a trusted pair of eyes to look at a canvas and say, it needs more yellow, is invaluable. And don't let the fear of rejection keep you in the studio alone. The world needs your art, but you need the world too. You need connection to keep the fuel tank full. I have a challenge for you this week. Reach out to one person. It could be an old friend, a fellow creator, or even someone down in the comments. Let's break the silence. If you're feeling isolated, let's start a conversation right here. Drop a comment down below and tell me what is the biggest struggle you face when creating alone. Let's be that positive friend slice for each other. If you enjoyed this deep dive of the Sources of Strength series so far, make sure you hit like and also subscribe so you never miss a single masterpiece from me. And as always, be bold to be abstract, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.